Hi, in this video, we're going to see how to factor a cubic polynomial. So that is x cubed, negative 4x square, negative px square, negative 5x, positive 4px, positive 5p. And the value for p is given, that is p is equal to 5. Okay, our first work is we have to plug in p is equal to 5 into this, into the given cubic polynomial. Then we get x cubed, negative 4x square, negative 4p, we can plug in 5, then we'll have negative 5x square, negative 5x, positive 4px. 4p, we can substitute 5, then 4 times 5 times x, and 5p means 5 times 5. Okay, now we can simplify, that is x cubed. When I combine this negative 4x square, negative 5x square, it will be negative 9x square, because these two are like terms. Then we have negative 5x, positive 4 times 5 is 20x, positive 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, in the next step, it will be x cubed, negative 9x square. When I combine these two terms, it will be positive 15x, positive 25. Okay, now what we can do is we can try to factor this cubic expression by grouping. That is, we can consider the first two terms as one group and the next two terms as another group. So what can be factored from the first two terms? So obviously x square is the greatest common divisor for the first two terms. If I factor x square out, so what will I get inside the parenthesis? So to get the stuff, to get the terms inside the parenthesis, you just divide the first term by the one you factored. When I divide x cubed by x square, I'll be getting x. And I have to divide this 9x square by this x square. When I do it, so 9x square by x square, it will be 9. So I get negative 9, positive. And the greatest common divisor for these two terms is 5. So 5 can be factored out. So to get the terms inside the parentheses, I have to divide the first term, 15x by 5. When I do it, so I'll be getting 3x. When I divide this 25 by this 5, I'll be getting 5. Okay, here, what is a common factor of these two terms? We find nothing. So nothing is found as a common factor for these two terms. So this cubic expression cannot be factored by grouping. So we may have to try some other method. So because the cubic expression, what we find over here, cannot be factored by grouping. So another method what we can try is we can try synthetic division. Yeah, 1 second. Okay, to try synthetic division, first we have to write 1 second. First we have to write the coefficients of all the terms. So the coefficient of x cube is going to be 1. The coefficient of x square is negative 9. And the coefficient of x is 15. And the constant term is 25. And in synthetic division, just below the first term, always we have to take 0 and we have to add 1 plus 0 is just going to be 1. Okay, so it's just a trial and error method. So first what we need to do is we have to check whether x minus 1 is a factor of this cubic expression. So to check whether x minus 1 is a factor of this cubic expression, we have to divide this cubic expression by this linear expression x minus 1. So if this one is evenly divisible by x minus 1, we can say this x minus 1 is a factor of this cubic expression. Okay, to do with this synthetic division, we have to equate this x minus 1 to 0 and solve for x. We get 1. We can write that 1 over here. Okay, outside of this synthetic division, we have to multiply, and inside we have to do addition. So we have to multiply this 1 and 1. 1 times 1 is 1. That result should be written here. Now, inside the synthetic division, we have to add negative 9, positive 1 will be negative 8. Now, we have to multiply this negative 8 and 1. I'll be getting negative 8 times 1 is negative 8. Now, I have to add them. So, I'll be getting positive 7. Now, I have to multiply this 7 and 1. 7 times 1 is 7. When I add them, I'm getting 32. If x minus 1 is a factor of this cubic expression, then I must be getting 0 over here. Only when I get 0 over here, I can decide this one is a factor of this cubic expression. but I don't get 0 because this the number what we get over here is considered to be remainder. So I don't get the remainder 0. I get the remainder 32. That means this cubic expression is not divisible by this linear expression x minus 1. So now we can try some other linear expression. Instead of x minus 1, we can try x plus 1. So first I checked with x minus 1, it didn't work. Then I'm going to check with x plus 1. If this one does not work, I may have to check with x minus 2 or x plus 2. In this way, I have to keep checking until I get 0 over here. That's a remainder. Okay, to check whether this x plus 1 is a factor of this cubic expression, I have to equate this linear expression x plus 1 to 0 and solve for x, and I'll be getting negative 1. I have to write this negative 1 over here. Now, multiply this 1 and negative 1. 1 times negative 1 will be negative 1. When I add negative 9 and negative 1, it will be negative 10. Now, multiply this negative 10 and negative 1. So, I'll be getting positive 10. When I add them, I'll be getting 25. Now, I have to multiply this negative 1 and positive 25. I'll be getting negative 25. When I add these two values, I'll be getting 0. Okay, so when I'm trying to divide this cubic expression by the linear expression x positive 1, I'm getting remainder 0. So that means this cubic expression is evenly divisible by this linear expression x positive 1. So we can decide this x positive 1 is a factor of this cubic expression. So we can write the given cubic expression as x positive 1 because x already we have decided x positive 1 is a factor because when I divide this cubic expression by this linear expression using synthetic division, I get 0. So x positive 1 is a factor of this cubic expression. Now we have to find the other factor for this cubic expression. When I divide a cubic expression by a linear expression, the quotient will be a quadratic expression. So to get the quotient, when I divide this cubic expression by this linear expression, so I have to write a quadratic expression using these numbers as coefficients. That is, I have to write this 1 as a coefficient of x square, and I have to write this negative 10 as a coefficient of x, and 25 is a constant term. So when I divide this cubic expression by this linear expression, the quotient is x squared negative 10x positive 25. Actually, the quotient is the other factor of this cubic expression. Okay, now I got two factors of this cubic expression. Further, I can do factoring of this one because it's a quadratic expression. I can try to factor this quadratic expression. So now I can factor positive 25. I have to get two factors for this positive 25 so that the product is equal to positive 25 and the sum is equal to the middle term negative 10. So that is negative 5 and negative 5. When I multiply these two factors, negative 5 and negative 5, the answer is positive 25. When I add them, it will be negative 10, which is the middle term. So the two factors of this quadratic expression is x negative 5 times x negative 5. So the factored form of the given cubic polynomial is x positive 1 times x negative 5 times x negative 5.